Welcome to Celtic Gypsies. We are reviewing or commentating or reaction. What do we call these videos?
Like
I can sit taller.
So.
I'm not gonna say the show.
These
are Celtic Gypsy shirts. Aren't they cute?
Yes.
See, that's why we stood up.
Yes, yeah. We are commentating on
our favorite
Season
show.
5, Episode 4, The Company We Keep.
This is the company I keep. No, we get each other.
We're probably the only ones.
Yeah, I think people worry, but it's okay. It's really okay.
I took notes in my phone, and now they won't load. So.
We didn't get to watch the episode together. Well, we started watching it together, but we went on a little mini vacation, a road trip with another friend for our birthday. Our birthday was on March 5th. Yes, we have the same birthday. Isn't that weird? Different parents, same birthday. But I think we're like cosmic sisters or something like that. So we fell asleep because we were out in Oklahoma visiting Pioneer Woman.
Huska. We learned how to say it correctly.
Huska. Yes.
Huska, Oklahoma.
This is coming out later than what we wanted. Then we had to watch it separately. So here we are.
And that was a day or two ago. So.
Yes. And she's trying to read my notes.
Well,
these are my notes.
You're not a good.
She didn't try. I let her.
I took notes. They're stuck in
here.
I
don't believe you.
Technology. This is why people. Even though it's 2020, we should still be writing things on paper.
Yes, and it's funny because I can't spell. It was really late at night and I spelled Isaiah. I spelled it all different in here. But I really love this episode because who produced it?
Sam Hewen.
Sam Hewen. And I didn't even catch that. I was watching this with somebody else. Cheated on me. And they're like, oh look, it's produced by Salmon Hewen. Salmon. It's produced by Salmon.
That's because you cheated.
Hewen. And I was like, it is. No wonder I love it so much. But yeah, it was produced by Sam.
He did a great job on it.
He did a wonderful job. So we come into the opening with Roger, Captain Roger, riding on his horse.
Roger.
Riding into, I guess, a settlement. Was it the Brown family?
I do not.
All the men were like, Brown, Brown. Do you remember that? When he was signing up, he goes, let me guess, Brown.
It reminds me of some of my family.
But he rides in there, and they're immediately guns a-blazing because of, I put Martin, but it's Morton. Isaiah Morton, right? Because he took up with one of the daughters there. So instead of Roger fighting, he kind of waves the white flag, so to speak. They bust out the whiskey.
Yes. Whiskey solves many things.
Yes, and it was so cute. Fergus in his little cloak. He's leaning there and he has a little cloak on. I was like, oh, he looks adorable. I know there was like guns a-blazing, but I was like, oh, he's adorable. I liked him in that. So, Roger was actually kind of brave because he stood up in the middle of fire.
Yeah.
Right? So that took some courage. You know, I know sometimes Roger gets a bad rap, but that took some courage, I think. And we go to Bree, and some lady took Jemmy to town. He comes back with a mysterious coin that was going from finger to finger in the opening credits.
Yeah.
Implying that it was Bonnet, right? But he's a little clean in the opening credits, the clean hand. So, and I'm thinking, why would Bonnet, if that is Bonnet, why would he know that's his child? Because there's so many people at the Ridge and the outlanding areas, and they're going to town with a woman that we don't even know. He doesn't know. Why would he say that's Jemmy? She was saying, well, maybe the age. I go, but there's different young
Yeah.
children all around. So I was kind of like, whatevs on that. But okay.
Sam didn't have time to explain that part thoroughly, so we just threw it in there.
Yeah, but sends Bree into a panic, my word, because she said that it's an Irishman.
Yeah, that would creep me
Did
out.
he have a scar right here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be really
And she's like,
creepy.
why don't we move into the big house?
Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike the Brie that we saw that went back in time and she twisted her ankle rolling down a freaking hill. And I'm like, get a stick! Get a walking stick! I was yelling at her.
She's a mom now.
Yeah, now
she's
she's a
learned
mom.
some things.
She's a mom now. Yeah, exactly.
A little wiser.
Yeah, so we have the truce going back over at Camp Brown or whatever their names is. But Jamie kind of sees that as a weakness.
Yeah.
So if Jamie was in charge, he probably would have killed a couple people on that portion.
But Roger's coming from the future, so kind of, I think his mentality of
Yeah.
dealing with conflict.
Yeah, he says
you know,
later
that would be different.
he kind of went to his bag of tricks as a professor, and he noticed that the English, before they went to the battle, they had whiskey or
Yeah.
they did that. I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah. He's coming from the age of diplomacy
Yeah.
into the age of
Yeah.
you just fight. Yeah.
Yeah, and then and then there's also when Claire is carrying the infant and Jamie's looking at her lovingly, longing, and he's got so much affection, and he says something like, I can watch you hold that infant all day long. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's when you know
Written by a
Diana
woman.
created him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't doubt there's men that look at their wife
Yeah.
longingly, but that, he's just so in tune with that.
Well, he says it out loud.
Yes,
He's
he
not
does.
afraid to say it out loud. So.
And then Fergus tells Roger that the men don't respect him, and some of them have hightailed it out.
Mm-hmm.
So it might have been a combination of Jamie and Roger's way would possibly work better.
Yeah, I think
because
so.
there's a way you have to do things back then, and it was like you have to show your leadership skills there, right?
Yeah.
So let's see here. Oh, and then you kind of could miss this part, but it is in there. Jamie does deliver the news to, is his name Josiah? Kezzy and Josiah?
Yeah.
That he indeed has their indentured papers, and Josiah's like, oh my gosh, and what about the mistress? Like, he's concerned about her too, which I thought was really sweet. But, can you imagine that relief that he must feel? He's always been a slave.
What I really loved about that scene was that he wanted to enlist immediately. He wanted to serve, and Jamie wouldn't let him because he tells him, you've already fought hard.
And is he 14? He looks.
I think he's calling him 14.
14, yeah, I was like, he's not
Because
like 14.
he doesn't want, he says you've already fought hard to win your freedom.
Yeah, that was
I'm
sweet.
not going to allow you to lose your life.
That was sweet.
And I really loved that.
Yeah, and I thought it was just so sweet that he asked about Fanny.
Because he already, he and his brother have already lived such a hard life.
That's
so.
true. That's true. Yeah, I was like, I don't think he's 14.
No. I wish
so-
someone could just tell me.
But you're
Oh,
14.
you're 25.
I'm
We're
sorry.
going to call it.
Let's not live in make-believe land.
No, let's do.
I'm just kidding. I'm the friend that tells you like it is. And then, again, I mentioned that Roger has lost his militiamen, and he's now trying to explain to Jamie how he avoided confrontation, but he lost men, and Jamie explains to Roger how you win how your honor basically wins the men's loyalty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And tells Roger that he betrayed his men. I guess he betrayed his men because he, didn't stand up for their cause or offer them whiskey? It's more like a felt thing. I understand what he was saying, but it's hard for me to put into words. So many things are going on. Isaiah tells Jamie that he's already married. He can't marry Alicia because he's already married. He had an arranged marriage. Jamie's like, oh my gosh, you broke your vow to your wife. Now you're breaking your vow to me.
Mm-hmm.
But, he feels for him. He's like, you just need to go and I will fix all this, right? Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, Claire's over here explaining the Beardsley situation and the baby. I was super glad that they realized the baby was of mixed color, And I thought when they were going to unwrap the baby, they were going to go say something about it, but they were just so enamored of the baby and in love, you know, and she told them the situation. I was like, well, that's nice, because they didn't seem very keen on Alicia Allie being with Isaiah, so I didn't know if they were going to be understanding about that or not.
Yeah.
So that was really nice, you know, and we didn't know that the daughter-in-law actually lost her baby, and so she was really happy to take her and nurse the baby, so that was really sweet. What else happened? Oh.
Let's see.
The notes.
Oh yeah.
The printer
The
printed
missing
her
notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were wondering what was gonna happen with the notes.
And they had it, and they're like, huh!
Yeah.
She's like, maybe take this and use it to start a fire. She was super smart. Didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
So that was really smart. Not like in the old episodes or seasons where they would do something kind of be like, like a deer in headlights. She was just like, let me just take this from you. You know, she didn't intend for it to lead beyond the ridge, but she did print it up for the ridge. So I don't know how she was thinking in her mind that this is only going to stay at the ridge. I mean, don't people travel in and out of town and stuff like that? I don't know what happened. She immediately goes to Jamie, so they don't have any like secrets between them. They're open, they're cohesive, they're working together. You know, it's nice to see them like that in a partnership, right? So she shows Jamie the paper. They discover meanwhile the encampment discover that Isaiah is gone, because Jamie's like, run for it, right? So the guns arise again, and see the brother, I don't know his name, the brother of the leader guy before, he rides in. All I noticed is that he had really big nostrils. The brother with the big nostrils rides in.
And who is this guy? Because I know we were talking about, he's so familiar.
Yeah, the guy that originally had the gun on Isaiah, and he's an older man, and so his brother rides in. That guy looks so familiar, like he's been in previous episodes, but more as a friendly. Like I got a friendly, he was something else that he was friendly. So I don't know if you guys remember the brother, the one that was there that had the guns a-blazing and then accepted the whiskey. Who is he? Because he looks familiar. So maybe they used him in a different role, same role. I don't know. I didn't
time to
recognize him. Yeah. So, but the brother with the large nostrils. Sorry, I don't know his name. I was like, rewind. What's his name? I have no idea what his name is. But he kind of like is more logical. And he's like, no, we're loyal to the crown. We're gonna join the militia. But these men will answer to me. And Jamie's like, oh, that's fine because you answer to me. And I was like, yeah. I didn't know how he was gonna get around that, you know. And the guy's like.
Yeah, I don't get a good vibe from this guy. I think he's two-faced.
The nostrils told it all.
Show us the nostrils.
I did. He's like,
he with your tiny nose.
So, Bree, oh my gosh, she loses Jemmy for a moment. My heart was like, oh, panic, where is he? Where is he? I wanted to help her look for him. You know, she panics and she starts screaming for him. She's asking, you know, is that considered her nephew, right? Fergus. So Fergus would be like her brother. So so she asked her nephew, where's Jemmy? And he's like, ball, or whatever. And she's freaking out, and she says he took him, referring to Bonnet, you know. And I'm curious to know if that Marcelly heard that, because she yelled it. And then Marcelly asks, you know, her son, you know, where is he? And he points, and you know they find him. And then Marcelly says, I have something in the kitchen for her. She say daytime terrors?
Yeah.
Or like
that's what I heard.
Daytime nightmares or whatever to come to the kitchen. I love Marcelly. So they're great sister-in-law, sisters, right? And they pan back to Claire, and Claire is offered a home for the baby from the people there that are, the daughter-in-law that lost her baby. And she's like, I don't know, I need to ask Jamie, right? And then Alicia, the one that was with Isaiah, says she thinks she's pregnant. She's so young. And Claire's trying to tell her, you know, a guy's not worth it. Like, don't lose yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Don't think your life is over. But she's so young. And in that time, I don't think she could see beyond that. I don't think you could actually get through to her because of the way her family unit is set up. You know, so she's just in that situation, right?
Yeah, feels hopeless.
Yeah, so then in the meantime, they flash back to Bree and Marcelly, and she's like, you know, who's this devil in your life or something like that. But Bree really doesn't feel like sharing. I wish she would. I wish she would share. but Marcelly knows something's up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Marcelly starts sharing. I'm like, she killed her dad.
Yeah.
She killed her dad. I didn't know that. She just says that matter of factly.
Yeah.
You know. But it was sweet. You know, she prayed, I guess, that he would be gone.
Yeah, but I love the way, you know, obviously she doesn't really believe that she killed him.
At the
was
time,
just
she
setting
did. She was
that
younger.
up, you know, so Bree could understand.
Yeah. She prayed he would die, and he basically, Marcelly's father beat them terribly. So that's probably part of leg hair's problem. I think leg hair was probably beat by him and previous.
I was like, who?
Leg hair.
Larry.
She was beat by previous husbands. So that's why she didn't want to be with Jamie. I was like, who doesn't want to be with Jamie? Like, what kind of work?
Yeah.
So Jamie did the honorable thing and moved away. But Marcelly is very intuitive, and she said that she prayed that he would basically die, and he died in prison. He got picked up for something. I don't think he got picked up for the abuse, but he got picked up for a Jacobite. He was a Jacobite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he died in prison, and she says, just because you think something doesn't make it true. So I think that kind of, you can see like a weight drop off of Bree, but she doesn't, if Marcelly knew, I think Marcelly could help her more.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't think she's one of the, she's not going to blab to anybody. Like, don't tell Lizzie anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with Lizzie not knowing anything more, okay? She got poor Roger beat to death. So, and then Claire is talking to Jamie about removing Kezzy's tonsils. And there's somebody there that's like kind of listening to her. I wonder if that's going to be an issue. Is she going to be deemed a witch because she's performing surgeries? Did you see that? Did you notice that?
I don't remember that.
There's somebody like around the fire or in the camp, and you kind of see them doing this. I don't know if they heard or if that was just coincidence. I don't know. So something's gonna happen with Claire because she's just really on her medicine, on her game, right? I guess people don't notice as much when it's a time of war and she's doing all that helping, like that's needed. But it's like, you know, you have more time on your hands. Like, why did she have all that stuff, right? Why did she know all this stuff? So she needs to do this operation on Kezzy because he's not as strong as his brother. And she's telling Jamie, he's like, well, you need to go back to Fraser's Ridge. And she's like, I don't want to leave you. You know, that was sweet. She was hesitant about leaving him. And he says something to her about, I don't know if he'll see her again, or he said something really sweet. I can't remember. Do you remember?
No, it's been a couple days. So,
this is funny to me. Roger is told to escort Claire back, and he's like, I just can't. You don't trust me. What did I do?
Yeah, poor Roger.
But Claire's really sweet, and she's like, Roger, he's entrusting you with what he loves the most. Mwah.
Wouldn't it be nice to have that confidence?
Yeah. So I don't know if that helped him, or he's like,
What he loves the
you know.
most.
And then I have here, the sword dancing, and then, oh my gosh, Jamie is sword dancing. This is hilarious because we made like a mock video of sword dancing, like episode 2 or 3, episode 2, and we had like a friendly banter thing that we only posted in the Outlander group with a link, and it was during that time. But we used
kitchen knives
to do ours.
I don't have swords.
Yeah, so we are just not mocking, making fun of people, but making fun of ourselves. Like we've never done it before, but we have a video of us sword dancing.
Because neither one of us really know how to do Highland sword dancing.
No,
we do Scottish country dancing, but that's different.
Yes.
A little bit of
But we did
similar
well,
music.
I think.
Yeah. I don't know. But
And then after that, I mean, I was just like, oh my gosh, she's sword dance. That's so perfect.
Which we were so happy with ourselves because
we're trending.
We did this before
we were in the know. We're really not in the know. It just happened.
I don't know. I felt his dance coming.
You felt it coming. Okay. Yeah. We were like, hey Sam. Yeah.
Oh, don't tell him to talk to Sam.
Oh yeah, our cardboard Jamie is not here.
Yeah.
He's on spring break. But they're doing that stroll. Oh, I love that stroll they take in the woods. And she says, my husband is as jealous as is handsome. I was like, yep, I'm going to use that line. Even if it's on you. My friend is as jealous as is handsome.
Oh, I'm so flattered right now.
You are so handsome. I don't know what accent accent that was. It was just an accent.
I'm blushing.
I don't know where that came from. They drank a wee bit.
I don't know, because I don't remember that.
I
They
don't
were
know.
walking in the woods. Where did they get drinks?
They drank a wee bit.
Maybe you were drinking.
No. They were drinking like before the dancing and in the dancing, and she asked him, "Can you recite the alphabet backwards?" And he's like, "Yes, like English or Greek." She's like, "Wow." And then he like, "Hey, do you want to keep the baby? I love you. You can keep the baby." And I was like, "That is so sweet."
Yeah.
And so she says she loves him even more for asking. I was like, "Can I just?" Oh my gosh, it's great intimate moments, you know.
Yeah.
And she's concerned about all the stuff they get into. Finally, she notices that they get into stuff, but she brought up the obituary that Bree brought back. So I'm hoping that the obituary part is like something where they get into some kind of scuffle or trouble, and they have to plan like a fake death. That's what I'm hoping for.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
That's smart.
So I haven't read. So if that's it, I'm sorry, but I don't know. I'm just looking that up. And then
I did like, I think I recall her saying something about regret isn't a good reason for making decisions.
That's true. And they're surrounded by their grandchildren. Yeah. And somebody said, or somebody said it to me, or I heard it somewhere, but in the book, which I haven't read, that Jamie carries Jimmy around everywhere, which I thought was sweet. So they do have family surrounding them. So then all of a sudden they hear like gunfire, and they catch Alicia in her nightgown out in the woods trying to kill herself with a gun. Like she kind of shoots herself in the arm or grazes her or whatever. So that was kind of disheartening and sad to see her have to go through that. But what two better people to catch her and stop that, you know, because they're also understanding. I'm wondering if like if her parents caught her, if she would have got a beating for that during that time. So they were the perfect people to kind of help her with that. So then, you know, Claire's like, "Jamie, go get her some whiskey." I was like, yeah, whiskey, calm your nerves.
There's a time for it.
Morton comes back, pulls a gun on Jamie. I was like, that's the wrong person to pull a gun on Jamie. Like Jamie could have handled that, but he was like, whatever, you know. And he learns that Alicia's pregnant, and he's happy about it, and he calls her, who first heard Allie, and so they're basically reunited. He professes his love, you know, because his marriage is arranged. I guess he said something about he hasn't lived with his wife in 2 years, or something like that. And he tells Jamie and Roger that they wouldn't be able to leave their loves. You know, why would they think he could? And he's like, if you are ready to leave your loves, then I'll walk right out of here.
I love how
and they're standing there like
left them both speechless.
Yeah, like he's got a point.
Because Roger.
At that point,
the stones.
That point, they were like, shoot.
Well, shoot. What do we do now?
Yeah, so Jamie, the chivalrous man that he is, risks riding Isaiah and Alicia out of that little compound.
Which is so sweet to see, like a happy kind of ending. I don't know when their story's ending.
Who knocks the stuff over?
That
stuff fell. Was it Roger? Somebody was really loud. Something fell over.
Isaiah, maybe. I don't recall.
Somebody knocked some stuff over, so then they release the horses, and then Jamie comes in with that goat saying, oh, this wee devil caused some trouble. And the brothers come out, and they're like,
with the nostrils flaring, and their buggy eyes.
Yeah. It was like, that guy's familiar. Another guy who looks scary. And so you see the horses running. I love that.
That was beautiful.
Claire is narrating, and I love the narration by Claire. That takes me back to the first season, and I hope they continue doing that.
Yeah,
I really do.
Pretty.
Do you remember what she said?
I'm trying to remember because
she said something about adultery and.
Oh, yeah, about how life forces us into having to make choices,
and she had to make those choices.
The best we can do is hope that the good outweighs the damage from our choices.
Yes,
and that
true.
Was, yeah.
So far, I really enjoy the season. I don't have any complaints on the shows. I know there's a lot of people that complain about it, from the music to you know, what's supposed to be in the book. This is exactly why I don't read the book first.
Yeah.
Because if I watch the seasons and then go back and read the books, it's like extra goodness, dessert.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, that's so neat. So
Yeah.
I loved reading in the book about when they went to the monastery and they went in the caves
Mm-hmm.
and soaked in the waters. I was like, oh, that's like extra gravy. It was so cool. You know,
I was gonna say one of my favorite things about reading the first book. I've only read the first book, but I don't want to like ruin it for anybody who hasn't read the books yet. So
we're in season 5, so sorry.
I know. I could.
What is it?
There are a
It's
lot
in
of-
the first one. You might as well say it. We're in season 5.
One of my favorite parts was where Claire's standing by a lock.
Oh yeah. You're gonna
They
say
have like a Nessie.
yeah, a
like-
Loch Ness monster,
yeah.
Nessie.
I
Yeah.
just-
that was magical.
I was really, really happy that I watched the episodes. I watched
Yeah.
Outlander first before reading
Yeah.
that book because
Same.
it
Same.
was a pleasant surprise.
And I learned that because I reread all the Harry Potter books. Then watched the movies and we're like,
Yeah, see, if I had read the book first and watched the movie, I would have been like, "Where's Nessie?"
yeah, exactly. I want Nessie.
I would have been disappointed.
Yes.
So
Well, I'm enjoying the season. I think she's enjoying the season.
Yes, I am.
Yes, we really love it. I mean, so we're so happy to have it back.
yeah,
I think that's probably part of the excitement. And right now we're sitting in my house and I'm looking out this way a lot because I have the lake right here. I'll go ahead and pan. It looks beautiful. The blue bonnets are starting to peek out. So yeah. So that's our take, and we hope that you will like and subscribe and share with your friends and also comment. We're trying to create a community.
yeah.
So come comment, hang out with us.
And if you're lucky, she might throw in the sword dancing.
I was like, don't offer me it. No. You guys take care. We'll see you next time.
Slanjava. Sharing is caring.
She's trying to steal my Outlander notes. Here's our beautiful view that we have. And you can see the blue bonnets right in there. And the sunsets out here are amazing. See the sun up here. Oh. The sky often gets purple and pink and bright orange. Right now it's midday, so we don't have that. There we go. I see a boat out there.